few people who
eloquent.
think like this, but more than anything, most people just want these.
You know
games
me,
to
I'm
be
very
fun.
rough
They don't
around the
care
edges. It's just who and what I am, brought on by a life of adventure and hanging around dangerous people. Gran Turismo 7, how did we end up here? Roff El Waffle? Raffle Waffle? Ah, Raffle Waffle. 43,000 views over the last 3 months on Gran Turismo. He pretty much nailed it on the head. He asked some questions I know the answers to, and they're cynical. They're cynical. It sucks. He's the same way as I am. He's playing the earlier versions of Gran Turismo because they're better. And 7, I don't know what happened. I try to rationalize and understand. Is this Japanese? Is Gran Turismo went from an international driving simulator to a Japanese game? Is that what happened? You know, the kind of games they like to play and shit, it's all different and strange to a Western or maybe even, you know, an Eastern or, you know, Central European view. They just, you know, you go and see their culture and you're like, wow, 5,000 years and this is what it's come to, you know? I try to understand the fucking roulette wheel. Okay, so do not show me any object spinning around on that wheel that has a less than, say, 20,000 to 1 chance of happening, because that's what some of them are. You're going to spin, if you think you're going to get one of the $20 million cars on the roulette wheel. So I heard a guy say, I got one the first day. He's a liar. He's a liar. Or he you know, he's one like a lottery winner. I can tell you that is one of the most horrifying experiences, that fucking roulette wheel, because you know what you're going to get. If there's a small pile of cash there, you know you're going to get that. Okay? No, if you don't get that, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get like a camshaft for a car you don't own. Or an engine block for a car that you've already made a change to. You don't want another engine block in there. It's going to be sitting there in your account. You can't turn it into money. You can't turn it into points. You can't, there's no functional use of anything. Why did they put the roulette wheel on there? I would like to hear Kazunori explain to me the functionality and why that damn roulette wheel is in there as a chance opportunity. You see, one of the reasons that you actually wanted to collect cars was because you won that race. You busted your ass through that whole fucking, you know, amateur, professional, whatever, you know, tournament. You won and you got a badass car every time. And again, like some that you didn't even know existed, boom, there it is. And you were excited and you were proud to own that car. Not given some, you know, 1998 Datsun fucking 4-door something. Because we all know we're going to have hundreds of cars. When am I going to go back to that? If I wanted to drive something slow, it would be more like we would race Samba buses. If we want to do the anti-race race, we would get in Volkswagens. Okay? That car is absolutely useless on any graph that you could name. Okay? And the cars that you win in the roulette wheel, if you do win a car, right, is not going to be a car you can use filling out your books. It is determined not to give you any of those, so that you have to either use your points, use your money, or fucking grind. None of which is enjoyable. Because I know that when I finish this tournament, you know what I'm going to get? Oh, here's your ticket. Yep, it's the small pile again. Oh, well, shucky darns. Just the odds, you know. You just, one of these days, you'll get that, you know, $20 million car. That's why we keep showing it to you on your wheel. No, it is a shockingly embarrassing moment. It's not, I'm not sitting there going, oh, am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? No, I don't do that. I'm not jumping up and down. Oh, look, I have an opportunity to win that car. No, that doesn't fucking happen, and it doesn't with any of you. You're all sitting there knowing it's going to land on either the camshaft of the car you don't want or need, the engine block you don't want or need, or some other superfluous fucking part you don't want or need, or the small pile of cash. You know that. You know it in your heart, in your soul. You know that's what it's going to be. And it is. So, Kazunori, can you explain to me the reason for having the roulette wheel instead of just rewarding us when we put the effort and the time in, okay, to complete a series, that you fucking give us a car worthy of the effort? Period. It's not that hard. The whole fill out your cards with cars you don't want to drive, all the shit that they did. Did they do it on purpose? Did they do it on purpose? No. I know what fucking happened. I don't want to admit it because, again, all my answers are cynical. I know why they fucking did it. I explained it in one of the other videos. They had a Gran Turismo 5 game ready to go. And then they realized all of a sudden, oh fuck, we cannot sell enough PlayStation 5 consoles to even pay for the advertising for Gran Turismo 7. What the fuck are we going to do? And Polyphony said, well, let's just fuck them. We'll go in and we'll make up a quick single player game thing. Instead of getting cards and rewards and tracks and things that are of value, we'll just have this thing over here that occupies their time. Where you put 500 hours in the game, 200 hours of it is not driving. What? What is that? Did they have some psychology professor come in and go, if you do this, they'll come back and play over and over again? Is that what they did? Because everyone I know is not playing Gran Turismo 7. They're playing Sport, which tells me Gran Turismo Sport is not long for this world. I can tell you right now they're going to shut those servers off next year. You want to bet? September 2024. They are going to shut the servers off for Gran Turismo Sport. You watch. They've done it before. They'll do it again. It is their methodology, okay? Microtransactions have to leave Gran Turismo. Simply reward us. When we win a series, there's a car you can win. And before you start the race, there's the car. Or if you want to have a fucking roulette wheel for some reason, okay, you put 5 badass cars there, okay? And the computer looks in my garage and says, well, he doesn't own any of these. Do you all agree? Nothing worse than winning a car you already have. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, you got 5 cars there. You don't own any of them. How hard is it for Polyphony to look into our garage and say, okay, he doesn't own any of these badass cars. We're going to put these on the wheel and let him spin. If they've got to have if they some reason have to have a roulette wheel, otherwise just give me a badass car. Show me the car before I start the series. Show me the car I'm going to win. Okay? That's what we want. What went wrong there? I don't know. Cultural, economic. I don't know. Bad management, just bad choices and decisions. Kazunori basically is just a name that they put on the front of, you know, their public relations badge or whatever, and then Polyphony just does whatever, and Sony does whatever they want anymore, and they've kind of outed him. I don't know. It's almost a mystery, isn't it? Huh? It's so bad, and there are so many things wrong with it, and You know, they took a diamond and turned it into a lump of coal by blowing it up and expanding it with bullshit. The game, listen, people, the physics, the look, the cars, the interior view, the view, you know, whatever view you want, that's what we want. We want good physics. We want the environment we're driving in to look like we're driving in an environment and not just some fucking video game. The more you can make it look real, the better off we're going to be. The more we're going to like it. Better physics, right? Even maybe produce it in 3D so that people with 3D capable, you know, TVs can have it. I try to think. I don't know. Because it's not Gran Turismo. This game is, you know, the part that's Gran Turismo, we know. There are certain challenges and things that are kind of reminiscent of Gran Turismo 5. You know what I mean? Prologue. I don't know. I really don't know. You know, the only logical answer is the one that I'm giving, which is they have. And the reason that we're not getting updates, and the reason we're not getting any fucking content and new tracks or new events or anything is because they are part of the other game. And they just took out the minimal of what they could and kind of, you know, added some of the old shit from the last game in there, and they made this fucking PlayStation 4 game on the fly within a year. Because they always delayed a year. And so they had a dedicated PlayStation 5 game that was going to be everything that they promised us with all the fucking promos. And then, oh, well, we're going to make it a PlayStation 4 game too. No explanation, but everyone knew what it was. They lied. They didn't have the PlayStations in stock they said they had, which was, they said they had 10 million ready to ship. They lied. PlayStation, they told us without a doubt, they made sure that we knew that you could buy a PlayStation 5 and be assured that you were going to be playing Gran Turismo Next Generation. And then they had to make corporate choices that turned them into, let's not call them liars, let's just call them shitty fucking prognosticators, okay? Because they didn't. And I understand COVID hit everybody, right? But produce 2 versions of the game. Don't fuck the people. You see, they couldn't because they had too much of the content would be exactly the same and their hand would be given. So I guess the next Gran Turismo, I have heard people who have played that smoke me at Gran Turismo, some of the best players in the world, who have played 500-600 hours in Gran Turismo games, are saying they will not buy another Gran Turismo. Now that is fucking shocking. They have expanded their worlds. They've gone on to other things like we do Dirt Rally 1, right? Because Dirt Rally 1 kind of went on the same exotic journey that you know, Gran Turismo has recently. Dirt Rally 1 was the best, had the best physics. And so the next game, they threw a bunch of orange leaves in the trees and had to use a different system because I believe polyphony was helping them. Very reminiscent of Gran Turismo. Sometimes I can have my Gran Turismo settings on my box and not have my compatible or PC on the box and have it still be drivable, but not quite right, but still drivable. I think they helped them because the next game that came out, it felt like you had a whale in your trunk. There was no reaction. The physics were terrible. And then 2 got even worse. Now the environment started looking nicer, but it got worse. If you want, any game can be adapted to. Any game can be adapted to. You can practice using your controller and get good at it. You can practice with your wheel and get good at it. It doesn't mean that what you're doing feels like the real world. Okay? Having been extensive off-road experience, doing really crazy, stupid shit off-road in some machines that have harmed people, okay? Same thing with on the road or on a bike. I can tell you that Gran Turismo's semi-close for what you get. You know what I mean? For the look and the way the cars look and, you know, the basic physics of the game. It's fun. But what they've done is they've made the controller much more unrealistic. It's like easy. It's like amateur setting in the game. And so people that spend $3,000 on a sim rig, right? They have no incentive to race people that have a controller in their hand where they can instantly accelerate out of a corner. The physics are different. The braking is different. Everything is different. And it gives the controller person an advantage. You see, they want to go after people to make more people play the game so they can sell more copies. But what they're doing is they're destroying the base of the game. And so, you know, they can make games like they did and get away with it because they're trying to entice so many other players in. But if you look at all the old-time, you know, dedicated Gran Turismo players, every last one of them was disappointed in Gran Turismo 7. So I don't know what 8 is going to be or if they're going to fix it. But I don't think so. Because however exotic the reason is for them to make such a fucked up game, I think that they made enough money where they're like, well, let's just do that again. The laziest, quickest, fastest thing to do. We'll give them the PlayStation 5 game we already have 3 years from now. We'll just build in some of the content we had to subtract to make Gran Turismo 7. And, you know, we basically gave them 2 fucking games for the same amount of money and fucked them all.